Hi, we're talking about chapter 4 today. I am so excited about this. This is wonderful. This is the first principle. It's thought. We need paradigm shifts to challenge our thinking, or should I say our stinking thinking between our ears. It challenges us because people would rather do anything than think. Can you believe that? People would rather do anything than think. People think. They think they think. But what they think, are you following me? What you're thinking is something someone else has told you that you believe. It doesn't mean that it's an original thought, that you thought it. Okay? So that's what we're talking about this chapter. So we need to get you to think an original thought for yourself. Most of the things that we think that other people have told us are not true, and we didn't know we needed to ask. Ask. We need to look at everything that we know or that we think we know. So let me ask you a question. If what you think you know wasn't so, if it wasn't true, when would you like to know? I love that. That's what my mentor used to say. If what you know isn't so, I'm sorry, let me back up. If what you know isn't so, isn't true, when would you like to know? I myself, I would love to know yesterday, last week, last year, last decade. I want to know if what I know isn't so, isn't true. So we're going to look at some of those today. So with faith, speaking and thinking of things that are not as if they were. That's faith. That is the definition of faith. Let's remember now, thoughts are things. Every thought that you have in your mind creates something. Everything that you can touch with your hands was first someone's thought before you could hold it in your hand. Everything. My ink pen, someone had to think of this. It was a thought. It was a thought before it could become an ink pen, a writing instrument. Okay, well, now let's keep going on this. Every thought creates from the formless. Okay, I know that seems a little far out there for you, but believe me, stick with me. Nelson Mandela was put in prison because of his thoughts, because of what he thought. Can you believe that? There's people that are told they will never walk. I personally was told when I was 16 years old, when I was in a car accident, that I was going to lose my leg and I would never walk again. I managed to keep my leg. I have both legs. They did not take my leg off when they came up to my room to take me to the operating room to remove my left leg. It had cleared up. They thought it had a blood clot. They were going to take it off. Can you imagine that? I wasn't even 16. I was 15 years old when that happened. I was in a car accident with my ex-husband. He was my boyfriend at the time. I had a head injury and I had a leg injury. They thought I had internal injuries. How amazing is that? The doctors were wrong. Thank God the doctors were wrong. Otherwise, I would not be sitting here with both legs right now. Okay. Now, let's get back on this. I'm sorry. Thoughts are things. There are people out there that have been told that they won't live to see their next birthday. And yet they live for 10, 15, 20, 30 years beyond the time that their doctor told them that they weren't going to live. Can you imagine that? I know people, and I'm sure you do too. It's what you think. It's what we think. Do you hear me? It's what we think that keeps us going. Our thoughts can help us, or they can kill us. They can literally kill us. A thought is easy. A thought is easy. The thing you think the most comes to pass. Can you believe that? The thing that you think the most, the thing that you hold in your mind the most often, the longest, comes to pass. So think good thoughts. We want to think good thoughts. Earl Nightingale still has he has the first best-selling vinyl. It came out on vinyl. I know vinyl is pretty popular again, but this is from the old days. This is Earl Nightingale. If you go to YouTube and you look for Earl Nightingale, the biggest secret on YouTube, you're going to find it. Listen to that. I think it's about 30 minutes long. I have listened to it numerous times. The biggest secret. This is the biggest secret. This chapter is the biggest secret. This is where this idea came from, written in 1910 by Wallace D. Wattles. What we think about, we bring about. What we think about, we bring into our life. So why not think about things we want in our life? Can I stress that enough? We need to think about things that we want in our life instead of harping on things we don't want. Because whatever, our mind is our slave. What we think about, we bring about. It doesn't matter if it's good. It doesn't matter if it's bad for us. What we think about, we bring about. So what are we going to do? What do you want to do? Let's think about what you want to give. Who do you want to give to when you have this wealth? Let's think about the other side. Let's think about what people worry about. What's going to happen to those people that are worried all the time? I don't even want to think about it, but let's run through it really fast here. If we think about the other side, what does it mean? Dis-ease. What does dis-ease stand for? Disease. Disease. That's what the doctors call it when we get sick, when we have something wrong with us. So if we know thinking about things makes things come about, it draws those things to us, why not think about what we want to come to us instead of the things that we don't want to come to us? Focus on what we want instead of in our lives instead of what we don't want. Is it difficult? It is to get started. Absolutely. I had a hard time with this, but thank God I got through it. And now I don't think about things that are going to hurt me, things that make me have a dis-ease. What do we focus on? What do we think about? We think about faith. Instead of thinking about what we don't want, what this person said to us, or how they treated us, we think about, we're going to talk from now on, let's think about faith. Faith. It's as simple as that. We're going to talk about the things that we want in our life instead of the things that we don't want in our life. There's one thing one thing that you've ever held in your hand, or one thing that I want you to understand how something works. Let's look at this. Jim Rohn said about how these things work. Jim Rohn said, I wouldn't take that class. So it really doesn't matter how it works. Just know that it does work, okay? It does work. What we think about, we bring about. It's amazing. We need to reword our words. Instead of saying we can't do something, we need to reword that. We need to change those words. We're going to say, instead of I can't do that, we're going to say I'm getting better at doing that. Instead of saying I have to do that, I have to go to the store, I have to go do this, I have to pay bills. Let's reframe our mind and let's say, I get to. I get to. That's faith. I get to. Can you imagine? Can you see the difference there? It's going to make a world of difference in the way you see things, and the way you think about things, and the way things happen for you. Because the world, our earth, life is for us. It is for us. It is not happening to us. Yeah. Paradigm shift there, huh? I felt that. Did you feel that? Yeah. Okay. So we need to reword what we say. We need to make it better. So we have to say, I get to. I get to. By changing our words, we change our mind. We change how we look at things. We change our attitude toward that thing. Listen to people's language. The next time you're talking to a person, listen with your ears. Listen to their language. They're going to tell you what they mean. They're going to tell you exactly what they mean. Watch their body movement. They're going to tell you what they mean by the words they use. Now, when we talk about good things, we see good things in our life. This is so amazing. The thought we have and the meaning we give the thought and the language we attach to those thoughts is the key. That is the key. That is the key to everything. That will unlock everything for you. The book says, and let me read this, it says, there is this thinking stuff, and I personally call this my God, my Yahweh, from which all things are made, in which, in its original state, permeates, penetrates, and fills the inner spaces of the universe. A thought in this substance produces the thing that is imagined by the thought. You can form things in this thought, and by impressing this thought on the formless substance, on my Yahweh, my Father in heaven, you can cause the thing you think about to be created. Is that magic? That's just the most awesome thing that I have ever heard in my entire life. Now, let's look at something else. If we think about building a house, for instance, everything that a person or a company would use to build that house was first a thought. Someone thought that thing, that tool, that board, that tree, before it was made, before that thing was able to be made. It had to be thought of before it could be created. Okay, so I left you with a few things to think about. This is the end of chapter 4. I wanted to share this with you, and tomorrow we're going to be going over chapter 5. And chapter 5, I'm sorry, let me look it up. I forgot to pull it out here. Chapter 5 is increasing life. Okay, wonderful. Thank you for joining me. I will see you tomorrow. Have a wonderful, blessed day. Bye.